The corridor echoed with cruel laughter. At first, it sounded distant, like a memory. But it was real, and it was getting closer. Lena kept her head down, clutching her books tightly to her chest, willing herself to disappear into the crowd. She wore her hoodie up again, her usual armor. She hoped, prayed, begged silently that they wouldn't notice her today. But bullies always notice the quiet ones. "Hey, Mouse," a voice shouted behind her. Lena's stomach twisted. She froze. Before she could move, someone yanked her backward by her collar. Her books scattered on the floor with a loud slap. Gasps came from nearby students, but no one dared to help. The world moved in slow motion. She stumbled, her breath caught in her throat. And then, the laughter came, sharp, mocking, cold. 3 of them. Sarah, the ringleader, tall, sharp-eyed, with a twisted smile that never reached her eyes. Behind her were Maya and Jody, more followers than friends, but just as cruel. "You think you can ignore us, freak?" Sarah sneered, tightening her grip on Lena's collar. For a split second, Lena's world blurred. But not out of fear. It was focus. The hands on her collar tightened, and then everything changed. Lena's left hand moved fast, calm, and deliberate. She twisted Sarah's wrist outward, stepping to the side. Her training took over, like muscle memory. With a sharp flick, she reversed the grip and snapped Sarah's arm backward into a kotegeshi, a wristlock throw. Sarah screamed. Her feet left the floor, her body flipping mid-air. She hit the hallway floor hard, sliding to a stop with a pained cry, clutching her wrist. Everyone froze. Jody blinked in shock, hesitated, then lunged at Lena with a scream. But Lena moved again. Smooth, fast, not angry, just precise. She sidestepped, grabbed Jody's wrist, and locked it with a perfect Nikio. Jody's knees buckled, a high-pitched yelp escaping her lips before she dropped. Maya didn't move. Her mouth hung open, eyes wide with disbelief. Lena looked at her, not with hatred, but with a quiet, steady gaze. No fear. No apology. Maya backed away and ran. What no one knew was that Lena had been training in judo since she was 9. She never told anyone. It was her escape, her safe place. While other girls her age went to parties or scrolled social media, Lena spent evenings on the dojo mat. Her father, a former national judo competitor, had introduced her to it when she was small and shy and afraid of the world. He used to say, "We don't fight to hurt, Lena. We fight so we don't have to." She never forgot that. After the incident, the principal called her in. So did the girl's parents. But for the first time, Lena had a voice. She didn't raise it. She didn't cry. She simply explained what happened. Security footage confirmed every word. Sarah had a fractured wrist. Jody had a sprain. But Lena had no marks, no scratches. Just a quiet strength they had never noticed before. Something changed that day. Not just in the school, but in Lena. The bullying stopped, of course. Fear does that. But something else started. Whispers turned to conversations. People who had never spoken to her before now asked questions. Some were curious. Others were grateful. One girl from Lena's math class, Emily, a quiet freshman, came up to her one afternoon with a tearful smile and whispered, "Thank you. They used to follow me too." Lena nodded. "You should come to judo practice." Emily blinked. "You teach?" "I'm starting a club," Lena said. "You won't have to be afraid anymore." Weeks passed. The judo club grew. Not with athletes or fighters, but with shy kids. Kids who'd always stayed quiet, always kept their heads down. Lena taught them what her father taught her, not how to hurt people, but how to protect themselves. How to stand up, even when they felt small. How to fall and get back up again. But there were still challenges. At home, Lena's mother wasn't supportive. She feared her daughter would become violent. "You're not a fighter, Lena," she'd said one night, her voice tight with worry. I'm not, Lena replied gently. But I'm done being a victim. Her father, though, quietly placed her old judo belt in her hand that evening. Your strength is not in your arms, Lena, he said. It's in your choice to use them. Months later, the school held a self-defense awareness week. Lena was asked to speak. She stood before hundreds of students. Her hoodie was off. Her hair was tied back. She wore her judo uniform. She spoke softly, but clearly, about fear, about silence, about choosing to rise. I'm not strong because I fight, she said. I'm strong because I know I don't have to anymore. The crowd was silent. Then, a thunder of applause. Lena never became popular. That wasn't the goal. But she became respected. She became the girl who taught others that being quiet didn't mean being weak. That standing up for yourself didn't require shouting. That courage didn't always look loud or bold. Sometimes, it wore a hoodie. Sometimes, it walked alone. And sometimes, it broke the hands that tried to crush it. Message: you don't need to be loud to be powerful. You don't need to hurt to protect. You don't need to change who you are to fight for who you are. Strength lives in silence. And sometimes, the quietest voice in the room is the one that changes everything.